Quiet, please.
On the first tee, from Australia, David Graham. Medium iron today, wind pretty strong. Ball needs to pitch short of the green. Looks good. Oh, magnificent shot. Oh, will it go in? Yes, it has. What a tremendous start for David Graham. Well, a hole in one. We saw Gene Sarrazin do it last year at Troon, and now this young Australian. What a great, great shot indeed for him. But you know, even that great shot may pale into insignificance when the whole story of this championship is told in full.
To Royal Lytham came possibly the greatest international field in the championship's history. Jack Nicklaus, Tom Weisskopf.
Let me ask you a question.
The defending champion.
If you hit it in the stands, that's not out of bounds, is it?
Oh, no, no.
Okay.
No, there's no out of bounds at this
All
hill.
right, fine.
Drop zones, you know those drop zones?
Tony Jacklin, Britain's winner here in 1969. Hale Irwin, who just surprisingly won the US Open. Gary Player, who'd recently won the American Masters.
Get down.
Get down.
Get down.
Oh.
Down, please.
Hubert Green, first time here, one of the many young Americans knocking on Nicklaus and Company's door.
Four sides, have your fours, club lines the other side of the iron frame.
The ebullient Lee Trevino.
Oh, if you're four,
On the other side.
On the other side.
more than four, you just play it, right?
More than four, you just play away.
Fine. Come on, Hubie. Show him that hat you have on. If it rains, your head will weigh about 400 pounds.
Occasionally it rained, but more important, all the time, it blew.
Can't you tell the way the trees are leaning?
Subpar golf seemed for 4 days almost as prehistoric as the Brontosaurus. The 1973 US Open champion, Johnny Miller. And from Asia, Mr. Liu.
Okay. You're welcome.
Mr. Liu on the tee. The first hole, the first day, the start of the story.
Quiet, please.
I'll come back.
And Liu's tee shot looks to be going to the right, and the pin positioned on the right-hand side of the green today is going to leave him an awkward second shot. Awkward little pitch over the bank. Oh, magnificently played. What a beautiful shot right into the hole. What magicians these Oriental gentlemen are when they get round the greens. And the face of Liu's partner, Jean Littler, recently recovered from a major cancer operation, making a great comeback and winning many, many more dollars. Beautiful golfer. Long putt across the first green. Well, what a magnificent storybook start for these two big names.
Yet, in spite of this constellation of champions, an unknown becomes the first leader on this first day. John Morgan, a 29-year-old former schoolmaster, now professional at Stoneham in Hampshire, comes back early on with a 69, 2 under par. And the crowd, over 15,000, a record for the first day, now wait for this upstart to be beaten as the bigger names go out. Later on, though, the wind and the rain, and incidentally the bigger ball being used for the first time, make things very difficult. Tony Jacklin finishes with a 74, 3 over par. And just look at the score of his illustrious partner, Peter Thompson, 8 over, indicative of the difficulties.
And now, Roberto de Vicenza, laying up to the 18th green. Previous winner. Beautiful shot. But look again at the scores. Vicenzo 8 over, Huggett 7 over, and Johnny Miller, their partner, doing a little better. Doing much better. What a fantastic putt to finish with. And that's a 72, 1 over par, and he's very much in the picture. As in fact is the little man coming close up behind, Mr. Liu. Liu's second shot to the 18th. Middle iron, round about a 6. This hole a par 4. Oh, off the bank, a friendly bounce. My word! Oh, a magnificent bounce. Absolutely stone dead. We saw him chip in at the first and finishing like that at the 18th. So that's a certain 3 for Lou, and a round of 72, which ties him with the great Johnny Miller from the United States.
Of course, while these players are finishing on this first day, others are still just going out. Among them, Gary Player.
Putting on the first green. A putt of about 5 feet for a birdie too. Oh, and right in, and what a great start for Player.
Player proceeds, quite astonishingly, to do the first 9 holes in 31, 4 under par. At the 17th, a par 4, he suddenly comes unstuck and takes 6. And this is the position. Player level with Morgan, the leader in the clubhouse, and only young Peter Oosterhuis of Britain scoring better.
All good, very well. Thank you. Yeah. Oh.
Well, I knew it was going to do that.
Oosterhuis playing some wonderful golf, but destined, I'm afraid, to come unstuck in the wind over the last 4 holes. And meantime, Player comes 2 under par to the 18th.
And that's hooked wildly away over the railings there, keeping the spectators back, and he's very lucky to have any sort of lie at all. He's really 50 yards offline.
Like that, please. Yeah.
If you had those people standing just by the scoreboard, here,
Beyond the scoreboard, right back, please.
That's the shot, and the pin on the wrong side of the green from where Player's coming in from. Very difficult shot.
you've got a yardage here, Evan.
And so the rather unique rabbit, this coloured caddy, specially imported by Player, trudges off to get a yardage. I think he's more or less 665, 70 yards from the flag. Player, anxious to get on with it. This is one of the few signs of nervous tension with someone of Player's great calibre. The caddy is away off the fairway, but he can't wait. He's made up his mind. That looks a 6 or 7 iron. Coming out of the rough, he's expecting it to fly. Oh, it just fell into the sand. Well, it was a very good shot to get that far. Rather fortunate to find that sort of lie.
Where's the bag?
The lads have got it. Young lads there.
Like a chicken.
And there's the mighty rabbit. I've heard of caddies losing balls, but he seems to have lost the clubs as well.
I got the bag.
Now, Player's partner, the new American Open champion, Hale Irwin. Second shot to the 18th. Not having a very happy day today, but finishing in good style. Now from the bunker, Gary Player. He needs to get down in 2 to tie for the lead. Oh, and beautifully played. It's just running on though. 6, 7 feet past. Irwin to putt. This for a 75. Well, always a bit weak, so that's a 76 for Irwin. And I don't think he's destined to win this championship to add to his American crown. Player, this for a share of the lead. That's a fine round, 2 under par, 69 for Gary Player.
And nobody else today can beat that. And the position at the end of the first day, Player and Morgan, the leaders, both 2 under par. Bobby Cole of South Africa and Danny Edwards, an American ex-amateur, 1 behind. Oosterhuis back in equal 5th place, but the championship looking very open indeed. Thursday, July 11. And looking back, the story of this second day is very simply told, because it's the story of the triumph of this man, Gary Player. Only 3 men are to challenge him. Bobby Cole, the young South African, who, like Gary, does the first 9 in 33. Oosterhuis, out in 32. and Johnny Miller, also 32. And player simply marches on.
This is the 13th hole.
Look at that. Very good.
His 4th birdie of the day. Now the 17th. Wonderful shot. Guarantees him his par 4. The 18th. From the rough. And set up for yet another birdie in a brilliant round of 68. 3 under par, 5 under for the tournament.
Who can beat him? Cole? No, not Cole. A 6 at the 17th, and he has a 72. Oosterhuis? No, not Oosterhuis. He finishes with a 71. So what about Johnny Miller?
Miller turns for home, but into a rising wind, 3 under par. But at the par 4 10th, a loose drive costs him a 5. At the par 5 11th, another wild drive costs him a 6. Now on to the short 12th. And he's way off to the right. Very luckily hit the chain link fencing. He'll try and scuffle it up the bank onto the green. He's got a very difficult backswing. So easy to hit the bank and roll back almost to where he starts from. Shoots it forward, but no, it doesn't make it. Rolls back down the hill. And still he doesn't make it off that shaly path by the gate. So it's 3 for Miller, and he's stuck in that long grass on the bank. And he's still 6 or 7 yards from the hole. Disaster striking very rapidly at Miller. And that's not in either, but stone dead, so that's a 6 at this par 3 12th hole.
Still, for all that, Miller's still in the top dozen in this championship. Several famous names go out of it altogether. The qualifying score for the final 2 rounds is 156, and the man who won here in 1963, Bob Charles of New Zealand, goes out by a single stroke. One who does qualify is Sandy Lyle, a 16-year-old schoolboy. But as for the higher echelons of the scoring, players 5 shots clear of the field. He seems to have the championship in his pocket, a prediction that a few hours hence, tomorrow, will look ridiculous. Friday, July the 12th. Among those not quite finished, Tony Jacklin. Jacklin, 77 yesterday, goes on today to a par 71 and just about gets on the leaderboard. But if anyone can come from way behind, then surely it's this man, Jack Nicklaus. 18th after the first day, 9th after yesterday. He's 9 strokes off the lead at the start of this 3rd day.
This for a birdie. No, not this time, but very close. And Nicklaus obviously determined to try and turn on some pressure today. The short 5th. This for another birdie. It's all of 25 feet. And that's the first birdie of the day for Jack. In fact, he goes on to gain strokes at the next 2 holes to par. And soon the news is trickling back to the clubhouse that the mighty Nicklaus is 3 under par for the day, and only now 1 over for the tournament. But behind the various other contenders begin their challenge. Mr. Lou, equal 5th overnight. John Morgan, also equal 5th. Morgan's playing partner, the holder of this championship, Tom Weiskopf, equal 5th. Swings away to the right, so that's an opening par 3 for Weiskopf. Danny Edwards, 4th overnight. Edwards was the leading amateur at Troon last year. And strange though it may seem to British viewers, he's still waiting for his ticket to be able to play full-time on the American circuit. Bobby Cole equals 2nd with Peter Oosterhuis. Oh, a beautiful putt. He opens with a 2. It's a great start for Cole. And with Edwards failing to make his par, that's how they stand. Cole 1 under as they leave the first green, making way for Player and his partner today, Peter Oosterhuis. Swinging well, good balance. David and Goliath indeed. Player, first to putt. No, wasn't one of his best.
Fellas, I can't putt with you through my line. Go to the left, please. I can't putt with you silly me.
Would you guys move out the way and let him putt? I mean, you think he
Player decides that discretion is the better part of valour. Marks his ball, just gives himself time to let those raw nerve ends settle. As Oosterhuis putts, can he get it in? Oh, and right in, and there's one of those 5 strokes back immediately at the very first hole, and Player still left with this little awkward one for his par 3. Great start for Oosterhuis. So it's a 2 for Oosterhuis and a 3 for Player.
Ahead of them, though, and really piling on the pressure, is Bobby Cole.
The second hole, a par 4. His chip for a 3. The 4th hole. This to save his par. Oh, again, so very near. Now it's the 5th. Oh, and that is a birdie. Fine 2.
The 6th now, and this for a birdie 4. Two birdies in 2 holes for Cole, and he goes 1 under par.
And behind him, Oosterhuis also 1 under. Player, now 6 under, birdied the 2nd. This is the 4th hole. Oosterhuis has missed the green with his 2nd shot. Player playing 2. Drive in the left side of the fairway, just in the rough. Good lie. Oh, pitched it right into the heart of the green, just goes to the back. Oosterhuis, the wild 2nd, pitching up for 3. Beautifully played. Now the trusty head of Player's putter. And it's swinging away and short. Elected to putt first. It didn't work out that way, so Oosterhuis, after that poor 2nd, has a chance of getting another one back. And a chance for Oosterhuis wasted. He's still 5 shots behind. Let's see what the others are doing.
At the 13th, Nicklaus is 2 over par and moves to 1 over par. Tom Weisskopf, 2 over at the turn. And that's just one of those agonizingly near misses he's had today. And Bobby Cole now going strongest of all. Player 5 under, Cole in second place, 1 under, Oosterhuis level par.
But now it's the short 9th. Oosterhuis on the green, but Player, as you can see, in one of the deep bunkers. Player, one of the greatest, if not the greatest, bunker player in the world. A lot of green to work with. But that didn't come. It hit the bank and went back. And that's one of the very rarest sights in golf. Player from a good lie, not getting out of a bunker. There you see the ball up the face slightly. He got it out well that time, but it's still 5.5 feet from the hole. Another chance for Oosterhuis.
Get in!
Well, absolutely stone dead. So that's a par 3 for Peter Oosterhuis. Now Player. This for a 1 over par 4. No, it's a 5 and a double bogey for Player. 2 over par 5, and suddenly the entire picture of this championship changes. Gary Player, who was 5 shots clear only a moment or two ago, is now only 3 shots ahead of Oosterhuis and 2 of Cole. A crucial shot, a second shot for Cole, ahead of them at the 10th. Long drive just under the bank. Awkward stance, he's not got far to go. Leans into the shot, punches it forward. Needs a good bounce, yes, here it comes. And that's done very well indeed, leading him a long uphill putt. The hands of Bobby Cole coming up the hill, all of 8 or 9 yards. Oh, what about that one? What a tremendous 3 after that awkward position from the tee. A 3 for Cole, who's now only 1 shot behind Gary Player, who comes to the 10th green, having put his second shot in the bunker already. He's in there for 2, Oosterhuis playing his second. Oh, and that's big, and got a very fortunate stopping bounce. Now Player with an almost identical bunker shot to the disastrous one we saw at the 9th. Oh, that's pretty good. But my word, that disaster at the 9th must have sapped his confidence. Oosterhuis, little chip shot from behind the green. This is his 3rd. Simple little shot. Oh dear. Dear, and he's letting these chances slip away. Now his 4th. The putter up over the hill. And that's still not dead. And watched by a rather pensive daughter, Player putts for his par 4.
He's gone well past too.
And that's probably cost him the outright lead. Yes, but another stroke dropped to par. Yes, that's cost him the lead.
He's level with Cole.
Now Oosterhuis gets his in for a 5, but what a chance wasted.
And there's the position. Player and Cole, now the joint leaders. Oosterhuis and Nicklaus, 3 shots behind them. And Cole now playing the short 12th.
Where he's missed the green with his tee shot. And if he's going to maintain his challenge, this joint leader, he must get this close enough to get his par 3. Oh, that's way too hard. Off the green and just up the slope. Cole playing his third shot. Joint leader at the moment. Can he chip this one in? Oh, it just edged the hole, but he's gone 4.5 feet past. Now this to only drop 1 stroke to par. But what a valuable stroke wasted. And behind, player who's parred the 11th with Oosterhuis will have heard all about it. Cole, though, at the 13th. Unlucky for some, and looks as if it's going to be unlucky for this young man. Deep in the woods, 70 or 80 yards short of the green. Can he get through onto the putting surface?
Suffering.
Well, you heard it. Hit the tree, dropped straight down, almost into an unplayable lie. How the fortunes of golf do change. 1 minute, joint leader, now tucked up against a tree, hacking out, trying to get onto the green. Still an awkward one left over the bunker, and Cole's chances fading rapidly at the 13th. And Cole destined to take 6. His chances of winning this championship buried in the trees at the 13th.
Meantime, Nicklaus has reached the 54th hole. One under par today, but 3 over for the championship. Finishing behind Nicklaus, Mr. Lou. Rather sadly, with a 75 for a 3-round score of 219. And Hubert Green. He's quietly come along with a 72 for 217, 4 over, which guarantees him 4th place with 1 round to go. Cole also comes in sadly. Only just a moment ago tying for the lead, and now 6 shots behind. And so, the final pair.
Oosterhuis safely on the fairway. Gary Player 4 ahead now, just on the very edge of the rough. There you see the ball lying clean. Medium iron.
Beautiful shot, straight on the flag.
Brought it in from the right. Beautiful second shot from Player. Now Oosterhuis. There's this wonderful view of the 18th here at Royal Lytham, but now what would he give for a 3? If he can get one here and put the pressure right on Player for the final day. What 2 superb second shots. Now Player, this for his birdie 3. Now will he putt or mark? He's done both today. Decides to go ahead and gets it in, so that's a 75 for Player, rather a scrappy 75. But how well he recovered from that disastrous 5 at the par 3 9th hole. And now a crucial putt for Oosterhuis. If he can hold this for a birdie 3, he'll only be 3 strokes behind. So that's it. And as Player goes into the press conference, he has a lead of 3 strokes. A nice position. But hovering all around him, not only is Oosterhuis, but the spectre of this great golfing man.
Jack tomorrow is 4 shots behind. He's going woo, and I'm going pew. You follow? The pressure is on you far more when you lead than when you're charging. Far more. This is what it's hard to explain to you guys, man. Just look what happens every week. Look at Tom Weiskopf. Do you realize that the last tournament that was played in the world, Tom Weiskopf was 5 shots in front and lost? The last tournament.
Chicago.
1 round ago. 3 shots is nothing. But it's going to be a hell of a day tomorrow.
All right, boys.
Realistically, just 5 men with some sort of chance of catching player. Oosterhuis 3 shots behind, Nicklaus 4, Green 5, plus, I suppose, Weiskopf and Cole 6 shots behind on reputation. Weiskopf and Cole are destined to fade out of the championship. For the umpteenth time in this championship, a Weiskopf putt just fails to drop. For Cole, the omen comes at the second. And for the umpteenth time, a magnificent recovery shot just fails to get him a birdie. So now, to challenge player, there are only 3. Oosterhuis, waiting in the wings, again partnering the leader, Green and Nicklaus.
But it's not Nicklaus who makes the first move on the leaders today. It's Hubert Green, also of the United States. A great birdie too at the first hole to go 3 under par, the same as Nicklaus. A few moments later, on the same green, it's Peter Oosterhuis's turn to try and make up ground on the leader, Gary Player, who is partnering for the 2nd day in a row. Oosterhuis taking his putter from 4 or 5 feet off the putting surface. Oh, and that's a long way short. Now Player. Oh, well, what a cracking start for Gary Player. Leader and begins with a 2. What pressure now on young Oosterhuis's shoulders. He must hold this. Well, that's the worst possible start for Oosterhuis. A moment or 2 ago, he was only 3 shots behind. Now he's 5. The second hole. They're both safely on the fairway from the tee. Ooster's fans watching him play his second shot.
Oh, lovely shot.
5 iron. Oh, fine shot. Rather unlucky to stop so quickly. Needed 1 extra bounce to take it right up to the flag. Much more lofted club, maybe a 7. Almost certain birdie for Player. What a start. Now Oosterhuis putting for a 3 with Player virtually stone dead. Oh, and right down into the centre of the hole. What a magnificent birdie 3 for Oosterhuis. And with Player holding his 2-footer, they halve it in birdie 3s.
Worth remembering that at this moment, players who went out earlier are already finishing. At the final hole is young John Garner of Britain. He finishes in 69, which will equal the best of the day, and a total of 295, which will put him in the top dozen of the championship.
But back with the leaders. 4 shots between them now. Player having bogeyed the 4th to his partner's par, and here at the par 5-6, Peter Oosterhuis has just hit a wonderful second shot onto the green, and Player will now hit his second shot. He's bogeyed the last 2 holes. Is the pressure beginning to tell? Oh, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Look at that for 2 shots. And Oosterhuis now is faced with a putt of 9 or 10 yards for his eagle 3. Drifting away, and by no means dead. Now a bit of teamwork. Now Player, who's already had 2 birdies but has dropped 2 strokes to par as well, has this putt for an eagle. Under the most immense pressure, you can afford a little smile. Now Oosterhuis, this for a birdie 4. Yes, but still drops a further stroke behind the leader Player as they go across to the 7th and even longer par 5 of 551 yards. The position here is that Oosterhuis has again reached the green in 2 splendid shots, whereas Player has missed the green with his second. Crisply played. Rather fortunate just to hit dead centre. Perhaps some would say unlucky not to go in, but either way a certain 4. Oosterhuis, this for an eagle. So they both touch the hole and both get certain birdie 4s.
Meanwhile, Nicklaus and Green have both passed through the turn in 34. Nicklaus has needed 2 putts on every green, everyone waiting for him to erupt. This is the 11th, par 5, Nicklaus playing 4. And a birdie 4 for Nicklaus. He moves to 1 over par, Green 3 over.
Gary Player's found a nasty position for his second shot at the 10th, and so offers a glimmer of hope, perhaps, to Peter Oosterhuis. Oosterhuis also in the rough over to the left, and has got a blind shot over those great big sand dunes. All is not yet lost.
Oh, it's over the green. By a million miles.
Well, possibly a slight exaggeration, but he'll wish it was a lot nearer than that. Now Player's second, also blind. And also too far.
Back at the final hole, Tony Jacklin, who won here last time. Finishes with a 75 for a total of 297, and that'll give him a share of 18th place.
Back at the 10th, the second shot we saw a few moments ago of Peter Oosterhuis's that went over the green has been very expensive. He's taken 5. Now, leader Player has this putt for a 4. My word, and you can see his shoulders slump with great relief as he gains another stroke on the field.
And at the 13th, what could be Nicklaus's last chance. This is a par 4 hole, Nicklaus playing his second.
Lovely shot.
And there's a really beautiful shot for Nicklaus and a great chance. Now, he simply must hold this for a birdie. Crucial miss. As he goes on to drop a shot at each of the next 3 holes, we can say that that is the end of Nicklaus in this championship. Ian Green, who's played so well, this was his first experience of British links-land golf, come to the final 72nd hole, definite contenders for second place, and should any spectacular disaster befall either player or Oosterhuis, I suppose first place as well. Jack playing his second from the bank of the left-hand bunker. It'd be a super shot if he could reach the green from there. And it is a super shot. Marvellous. A wonderful arena to finish in, and Nicklaus, ever popular here now, gets a tremendous hand. And now, only from about 15 feet, he has this for a 71 and 287. And it is a 71 and it is 287. But once again, the familiar pattern for Jack in the British Open, so near and yet so far. Hubert Green, he also has his putt for a 71, but for 288. And in it goes to ensure that at any rate, he'll get 4th place. And now, out on the course, only 2 men. Only Oosterhuis now in a position to put any pressure on player.
The 13th, this shortish par 4, the second shots. Oh, absolutely stoned there. Beautifully played shot. Now player. A little strong. Just goes off the back of the green. Oosterhuis 9 or 10 inches away. This little tap in for his birdie 3. Which he gets. But he's 6 strokes behind at the moment, and surely he must be thinking that he's going to get one back here. Player is going to chip down with a little 9-iron from the stubbly grass at the back of the green. Awkward little chip, 9 or 10 yards. What an absolute killer blow by player. Oh, the relief he must feel. What a tremendous blow. That's one really to the solar plexus for young Oosterhuis. How sick he must feel. And player keeps his lead of 6 strokes. And that really would seem to be that. Only twice is there even a hint of possible danger to player. The 17th, player's second shot. Medium iron. He's hooked it, and he's not pleased. The one thick bit of rough there left of the green, plunged into the bank. What a tragedy if this ball was not to be found. Player would go back, virtually a 2-shot penalty. There you can see how deep it is.
Well, get the official to time here. He's
That's right.
Let him come and help these fellas.
And perhaps a moment of panic.
Help us look for it, fellas. Come and help us look.
He's only allowed to look, of course, for 5 minutes.
Yes, I am indeed.
Yeah, well, look here. There's one here. Yeah.
But no, sighs of relief. Here it is. Oh, you can almost feel the nerve ends healing.
Pardon?
Is that it?
But we're playing embedded ball rule, I believe.
No. There's no embedded ball rule in the rough.
He's still got an awkward one, though. You can see he's relatively close to the green, but in that heavy grass. Look at it. Oh, and chops it. Oh, and he did well to get it there. He could easily have left it. Player gets his 5, and a crisis is past. Now on to the 18th. Player safely from the tee with his trusty 1-iron, just into the light rough on the left-hand side. Good lie, but a long shot to this green. Sailing towards dead centre of the clubhouse. Pitches boldly, no stop. My word, and it finishes right alongside the clubhouse. Right alongside the wall. Are we in for more fun and games? For there's no way he can play that right-handed. But now Oosterhuis. Second shot, playing very much for second place. Nicklaus in the clubhouse at 287. This young man wanting a 4 here to be second on his own. And is it a bit strong? Well, just goes to the back of the green. But a very fine shot indeed. And how well he's played this week. 90,000 people have paid to see the golf over these 4 days. And what a tremendous welcome they're giving Gary Player, virtually the certain champion.
Can I have a rules man, please?
Well, he's only got 2 options. Either pick within 2 clubs length and lose a shot, or try and conjure up a bit of magic to scoop that ball back onto the green.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't want to take a drop if I don't have to.
Well, you either got to play it, or you move one shot.
There's no specific rule for the flower bill.
He reaches into the bag for the old trusty putter. It looks, yes, he's going to attempt a left-handed knock along the ground onto the green, because he's got strokes to spare. Nothing in his way.
Could you just hold it a minute, please?
Well ahead of the field, gets it up to within 8 or 9 feet. Oosterhuis for his birdie 3. No, but only 12 inches away. So Oosterhuis assured of second place. Very commendable effort, and gets great rounds of applause. Now Player with plenty of shots in hand. Knocks it up to the hole side and taps in. A worthy winner, the only man to master the conditions this week.
As the man who, little more than a year after having a serious internal operation, has won his 3rd British Open Championship. Oosterhuis 2nd, Nicklaus 3rd, Green 4th, and the rest of them pretty well nowhere. And absolutely no doubt as to who's been the best player in the world this week.
The champion golfer for the year, Gary Player.
Hey, Gary. Hey. Give it a kiss, baby.
Green 4th, and the rest of them pretty well nowhere. And absolutely no doubt as to who's been the best player in the world this week.
The champion golfer for the year, Gary Player.
Hey, Gary. Hey. Give it a kiss, baby.